Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about the braking of electric drives, which is the most important topic of electric drives as well as electrical engineering. So, myself Mr. Santanu Noskar, Assistant Professor of Electrical Department, GKCM GIS Group. My mail ID is santanu.uit@gmail.com and santanu.noskar_gkcm@gisgroup.org, and this is my Facebook page, Being Electrify with Santanu. Okay, so let us discuss about your syllabus. So I have already covered the basic of electric drives, motor power rating and starting of electric drives. So today I will start the braking of electric drives. Here I will discuss about the types of braking of DC motor, induction motor, synchronous motor, and energy loss during braking. So your course code is WE701 and there are 3 hour per week lecture and 1 hour per week tutorial, and your credit point is 4. So before starting this topic, I want to share some idea with you. Once Mr. Nelson Mandela said, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So spread education to all people. So let's start. So now the main thing is, what is braking of electric drives? So whenever an electric drive is disconnected from the supply, the speed of the driving motor gradually decreases and becomes to zero. This natural process of braking, for reason mentioned here, may not be often satisfactory. In many applications, it may be necessary to provide a braking torque by artificial means, by mechanical brakes or electrodynamically. So the electrical method of providing a retarding torque has several advantages. For example, little maintenance is required, whereas mechanical brake require adjustment and replacement of brake linings. No darts in produce, whereas the wear of mechanical brakes produce dust. Okay, the heat may be produced in a more convenient place, or in some cases a portion of energy of the system may be returned back to the supply. Electrical braking is smooth without snatching. However, some forms of electrical braking require equipment of higher rating than required for motoring alone, while some other types require additional piece of equipment. Hence, economic consideration have a considerable bearing on the use of electric braking. Also, electric braking normally cannot provide a holding torque based on the purpose for which braking is employed. There are two forms of braking: braking while bringing the drive to rest, any braking while lowering loads. In the first type, the device used for braking absorbs the kinetic energy of the moving parts, and in the second, it absorbs, in addition to the kinetic energy, potential energy, usually gravitational, which can drive the system at an excessively high speed. So braking while stopping may be employed for any one of the following purpose. Number one is reduce is a time taken to stop. Number two, stopping exactly a specified point. For example, in lifts, sometimes such phases stopped are necessary for reason of safety. Number three, feeding back at least a portion of the power to the supply network. Braking while lowering loads enable us to achieve any one of the following objectives. Okay, those objectives are controlling the speed at which the load comes down and limiting it to a safe value, and number two, feeding power back to the supply. So after this we will discuss about types of braking. So there are 3 types of electric braking which are applicable to the usual types of electrical motor. Those are dynamic braking, regenerative braking, dynamic braking, and plugging type braking. And we will discuss about three types of braking in those three motor: DC motor, induction motor, and synchronous motor. Okay, so this all I will discuss about in this braking of electric drives. So regenerative braking implies operation the motor as a generator while it is still connected to the supply network. Mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy, part of which is returned to the supply. Rest of the energy is lost as heat. Now in the winding and the bearing of the electrical machine does not regenerate in most cases, involve any switch operation, useless. It is required to change the speed at which it becomes effective. So most electrical machines pass smoothly from motoring to generating when overdriven by the load. Now rheostatic or dynamic braking. It implies operating the motor as a generator so that the mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy, which is distributed as heat in the resistance of the machine winding or in resistor connected to them as an electrical load. Now what is about plugging? Plugging involves reconnecting the power supply to the motor so that it tends to drive in the opposite direction. It is obvious that left to itself the system will come to rest and then accelerate in the reverse direction. In case it is required to bring the drive system to rest, it is necessary to include a relay to disconnect the supply exactly at the instant when the motor stops. This is the most inefficient technique of electric braking, since in addition to distributing the electrical energy converted from the mechanical energy in the resistance of the circuit, the electrical energy drawn from the supply is wasted. Now we will discuss about the induction motor braking. So in induction motor braking there are three types of braking process. One is regenerative braking, another is dynamic braking, and third one is plugging or reverse voltage braking, or this is called reverse current braking. So in this dynamic braking there are four process: AC dynamic braking and self-excited braking using capacitor, and DC dynamic braking, and the last one is zero sequence braking. So what is an induction motor braking? The braking is the process of reducing the speed of an induction motor. So in braking, the motor works as a generator, developing a negative torque which opposes the motion of a motor. The braking of an induction motor is mainly classified by three types. Okay, so the braking of an induction motor I will describe here. First of all, regenerative braking. So the input power of induction motor drive is given by the formula P in equals to 3 VIS cos phi s, where phi s is the phase angle between stator phase voltage and stator phase current Is. For motoring operation, the phase angle is always less than 90 degree. If the rotor speed becomes greater than the synchronous speed, then the relative speed between the rotor conductor and air gap rotating field reverse. Now the rotor induced EMF, rotor current, and component of stator current which balance the rotor ampere turns, then the phi s is greater than 90 degree. Then the power flow to reverse and gives the regenerative braking. The magnetizing current produces the air gap flux. The nature of the speed torque curve is given in this picture. When the supply frequency is fixed, the regenerative braking is possible only for speed greater than synchronous speed. With variable frequency speed, it cannot be obtained for speed below synchronous speed. Now, the main advantage of regenerative braking is that the generated power is fully used, and the main drawback is that when fed from a constant frequency source, the motor cannot employ below synchronous speed. Okay, so these all the induction motor regenerative braking. Now we will discuss about the plugging of induction motor. So when the phase sequence of supply of the motor running at speed is reversed by interchanging the connection of any two phases of the stator on the supply terminal, operation change from motoring to plugging as shown in this figure. Plugging is the extension of motoring characteristics for a negative phase sequence from quadrant third to second. The reversal of phase sequence reverse the direction of rotating. So in this picture, this was natural characteristics with external resistance, and this is plugging in fourth quadrant with extra large external resistance in rotor. So these all the plugging of induction motor. Now we will discuss the dynamic braking one by one. At first we discussed about the AC dynamic braking. So the dynamic braking is obtained when the motor is run on the single phase supply by disconnecting the one phase from the source and either leaving it open or connecting it with another phase. The two connections are respectively known as 2 and 3 lead connection. Look here, this is 2 lead connection and this is 3 lead connection. So this is a picture of AC dynamic braking of our own rotor motor. Okay, now when connected to a one phase supply, the motor can be considered as to be fed by positive and negative sequence 3-phase set of voltage. Now the total torque produced by the machine is the sum of torque due to positive and negative sequence voltage. Now when the rotor has high resistance, then the net torque is negative and the braking operation is obtained. Assume the phase A, look here in this picture, phase A of the star connected motor is open circuited. Then the current flow through the phase A becomes 0. Okay. Through phase A becomes 0. Now phase current of phase A is 0 and current through the other two phases is IB equals to minus IC. Okay, IB means phase B, IC means phase C. So the positive and negative sequence component IP and IN are represented by this equation, P for positive, N for negative, which is 1/3 I vector and alpha plus IB vector plus alpha square IC equals to this, and IP is equals to this. Look at this equation where alpha is equals to e to the power j, okay, 20 degree. Now we will discuss about self excited braking using capacitor. Now in this method the three capacitors are permanently connected to the motor. Look here, the value of the capacitor is so chosen that when disconnected from the line, the motor works as a self-excited induction generator. The braking, connection and self-excitation process is shown in this figure. Okay, so the curve A, look here in this picture, is the no load magnetization curve, and B represent the current through the capacitor, and E is the stator induced voltage per phase of the line, and the capacitor supplies the necessary reactive current for excitation. So this all the self-excited braking using capacitor. Now we will discuss about the DC dynamic braking. In this method, the stator of induction is connected across the DC supply. The method for getting DC supply with the help of a diode bridge is shown in this figure. Okay. The direct current flow through the stator produces a stationary magnetic field, and the motion of the rotor in this field induce voltage in the stationary winding. The machine therefore works as a generator, and the generated energy is dissipated in the rotor circuit resistance, thus giving the dynamic winding. Okay, so this is the two-lead DC dynamic braking connection, and this is the three-lead connection of DC dynamic braking. Now zero sequence braking. So in this braking, the three phases of the stator are connected in series across either a single AC or DC source. Such type of connection is known as zero sequence connection because the current in all the three phases is co-phase. The nature of speed torque curve for AC and DC supply is shown in this figure. Okay, with the AC supply, the braking could be used only up to 1/3 of synchronous speed. The braking torque produced by this connection are considerably larger than motoring. With DC supply, braking is available the entire speed range, and the braking are essential a dynamic braking as all the generated energy is wasted into rotor resistance. Okay, so these are all induction motor braking. Now we will discuss about the braking of synchronous motor. So the method that are employed for braking of synchronous motor are regenerative braking while operating on a variable frequency supply, rheostatic or dynamic braking, and plugging or reverse current braking. Now regenerative braking. So when the motor operates as a variable speed driver motor utilizing a variable frequency supply, it can be regeneratively braked and all the kinetic energy returned to the mains. As in an induction motor, regeneration is possible if the synchronous speed is less than the rotor speed. The input frequency is gradually decreased to achieve this at every instant. The kinetic energy of the rotating parts is returned the mains. The braking takes place at constant torque with cycloconverter, and regeneration is simple and straightforward. Now with an additional converter is required on the line side. So now we will discuss about the rheostatic braking. So a braking of synchronous motor is switched on onto a three-phase balanced resistive load after disconnecting it from the mains, keeping the excitation constant. Now to achieve greater braking torque for effective braking, the excitation may be increased, the terminal voltage and current change, that means decrease as the speed decreases. At very low speed, the resistance effect become considerable. The value of resistance affects the speed at which the maximum torque occurs. It can ideally be made to occur just before the stopping of the motor. Now the braking current at any instance is given by this equation, and I braking equals to E by root over R1 square plus omega ls whole square, where E equals to omega L F Ia by root 2 is the induced voltage, and in this above equation R1 equals to stator resistance per phase, Ls equals to synchronous inductance per phase, LAF equals to mutual inductance between armature and field, IF equals to field current, and now the braking torque is equals to 3 IBR square R1 by omega equals to K omega by R1 square plus omega LS whole square. Now the speed at which the TBR is maximum, that means torque, braking torque, can be obtained as omega m equals to R1 by LS. By proper choice of R1, the maximum braking torque can be made to occur just before stopping. So these all about rheostat or rheostatic or dynamic braking. Now we will discuss about the plugging type braking of synchronous motor. One thing to say, the braking of synchronous motor by plugging has serious disadvantage. Very heavy braking current flows causing the disturbance. The torque is also not effective. However, if the motor is synchronous induction type, it can be braked effectively by plugging only if the machine is working as an induction motor. Okay. Now about DC motor braking. I have already made a video about DC motor braking itself. So for DC motor braking, please go through my comment section or my description section. You will get the link of DC motor braking where I discussed about these very important types of braking very thoroughly. Okay. Now we will discuss about the energy relation during braking of electric motor. So in conventional method of braking such as rheostatic braking and plugging, it is necessary to know the energy wasted so as to satisfactorily carry out the design of the braking equipment. So when a shunt motor is braked dynamically using resistance, the energy dissipated in the resistance is equals to the kinetic energy of the motor, that is WBR equals to half J omega 1 square, where J is the moment of inertia and omega 1 is the speed at which the braking is initiated. Now number 2, during counter braking, that's in plugging, the energy dissipated is 3 by 2 J omega 1 square. If speed reversal is required, it is 2 J omega 1 square. The extra energy drawn from the mains is due to the application of the voltage in the reverse direction. Now number 3, for a 3-phase induction motor which is braked by a DC in the stator, which is denoted by WBR equals to half IA square R1 TBR plus half J omega A square, where TBR is the braking time which can be estimated from the dynamic of the motor during as braking, as TBR equals to J omega S by TDM into 1 minus S1 square by 2 SM plus SM ln 1 by S1, where S1 is the slip at the instant of braking. And when number 4, when an induction motor is plugged, the energy wasted during braking is 3 by 2 J omega S square. If it is allowed to reverse, the energy is 2 J omega square S. If the stator losses are also added, these are 3 by 2 J omega square S plus 1 into 1 plus R1 plus R2. Okay, and 2 J omega square S 1 plus R1 by R2 dash respectively. Now for a braking of synchronous motor, the energy dissipated during rheostatic braking is denoted by this equation: omega B WBR equals to 3 IBR square R1 TBR plus half J omega square S. Now knowing the various torque occurring in the motor during dynamic braking, the dynamic behavior of the motor can be established. So these are all about the energy relation during braking of electric motor. So now I will discuss about some reference of this course or my lecture. So the textbook is Fundamental of Electric Drives by G.K. Dubey, New Age International publication. Number 2, Electric Drives, Vedam Subramaniam, Tata McGraw-Hill publication. Number 3, a fast course on electrical drives by S.K. Pillai, Professor of IIT Bombay, New Age International publication. And some reference book are in Electric Motor Drives, R. Krishnan, Modern Power Electronics and AC Drive by B.K. Bose, Electric Motor and Drives by Hosting Hughes. So this all of my reference book, and now go through some reference site which is NPTEL video lectures of electric drives, circuit globe and Triply guide. So thank you, hope you all enjoy my lecture. If you like my video, then like, comment and subscribe my channel. So, and for DC motor drives, DC motor braking, go through the link in my description section and comment section. So thank you, stay happy, stay safe.